Because if you don't really know where you've come from, you can't possibly really know where you're going.
Yeah.
And to listen to you and your background and your grandfather and great-grandfather and how they've come through, and your mom, who I knew.
Yes, she loved
We
you.
liked each other
Yeah.
very much. We
Yeah.
just admired each other.
Yeah.
And beyond that, there was affection, but there was admiration too, just because we knew who the other one was.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she was a strong and loving woman, and she knew I was the same. Also, you know, there some people who can be strong without love, and love. There are people who can have love without strength, so they can't encourage people to go further, to be more ambitious. If they just love, I allow you to do it. You know, give people permission, license to do anything. Love, it's such a wonderful encouragement it is. It's not just a feeling. It may be that which keeps the stars in the firmament. So I liked her a lot, and she loved me, and I liked her and loved her.
I was 17 when my brother was murdered, and that's a transitional age anyway among young people, and it had many impacts on me, some of which I don't even understand to this day.
What year was that?
That was 1964. Yeah, it'll be 50 years next year. And I'm curious if you could share with me what impact it had on you.
The murder of Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner rocked me at the core of my very being. I had grown up in a little village in Arkansas about the size of this room, and lynchings were not unusual, and they were legal as far as we can see. Nobody ever went to jail for it. So I was used to white men killing black men, but I was not used to white men killing white men because of black men. The difference. It was almost as if the farmer, this is what they did. The KKK did that. They killed black men in varying murderous ways. I mean, some were hung, some were caught, set on fire, some were just brutally murdered. But young white men, I thought these people are really mad. It was as if they had a license to kill black men. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I understand what you're saying.
It was amazing to me. I had to look at the murderers with different eyes. They rocked me. It rocked me.
This is a really fascinating way of putting it.
Yeah.
Why is it different? This is what I'm struggling with.
Yes.
Why is it? I understand what you just said, but why is it different? Why is it different to kill a black person than a white person?
Well, for a few hundred years, white men could order black men to do anything, and they had to do it,
Right.
including die. They could order black women to do anything, and they had to do it, which explains so many light-skinned black people. But all white men were free. Even the bondsmen were free in that they could write to somebody in a country they came from and get some sort of help. If they were brought here from England, they could always write back. England was there. But the black man and black woman had no place to to call to a right to ask for succor, sustenance, support.
Right.
It seemed that white men had no say over other white men. And in fact, what white men did is they tried to make friends with white men so that they could have some support in what they did. They had to have allies. The first thing the white man had to do was convince himself that the black man deserved slavery. And the second thing he had to do was convince his friends, his allies, that the black man deserved slavery so he could have some support.
Right.
So you see now?
Yes, yes. It was shock. It was a shock.
Shocking.
It was a realization that
wrong is wrong, period.
Period. Yeah, yeah.
That cruelty is cruelty, no matter who does it and to whom. And I felt for your mother. I felt for Schwerner. I obviously felt for James Chaney. But I felt for the mother of the white boys. I thought, see, the mother of the black boys know when he leaves home, she may never see him again, no matter where. But the white mother didn't know that.
That's right. My mother had no idea. I had no idea.
I know.
I didn't know that you could get killed. I mean, I thought maybe they'll get yelled at or
even put
beat
in
up
jail.
or put in jail. Yeah, but not killed.
Murdered.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. So my brother goes there with Michael Schwerner, who were outsiders. James Chaney was from Mississippi, and they lost their lives. They didn't give their lives; it was taken from them.
They simply stand out for the 3,000 or 300,000. They stand up for. They represent. You have to have representation. And those three young men represent 300,000 young men and women who had the courage to go to the lion's den and try to scrub the lion's teeth.
So it's sort of
It's imperative. Oh yes, you must give that. People live in direct relation to the heroes and sheroes they have. Always and always. So young people can look at the famous football player, the well-known baseball player, the golfer, and say, I want to be like that. Well, we have to have that in the civil rights movement. We have to have the young men, some who are known for who became very famous because of what they said. We have to have the people who became famous for what they did. And I think those three are unmitigated heroes and sheroes. Heroes. So we have to lift them up and show them to the world. So some young man in Philadelphia, somebody in Tucson, Arizona, says, "Oh boy, I wonder, could I stand up for right, even though it doesn't actually concern me?" I mean, and not knowing that by standing up for right, he's doing the right thing for himself. She's doing it for herself, not because she loves blacks, or not because he loves blacks, but because he loves right. You see?
Well, thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very much. I think that's important advice coming from someone with your wisdom and experience.
Thank you.
And point of view. The Andrew Goodman Foundation has a number of programs, and one of them is to bring the elders in the elder generation and the middle-aged generation as models, as you said.
Thank you.
Examples, heroes and sheroes for young people.
Yes, that's right.
And so we're honored to honor you. It's
Thank
really
you.
our honor. And I'd like to give you an award from the Andrew Goodman Foundation.
Oh my goodness.
Says Dr. Maya Angelou, poet, activist, and humanist.
Oh,
and
humanitarian.
this is so meaningful to us.
Oh, thank you
And we
very much.
thank you too. for all your work that
It's
you've done.
handsome too.
It's-
Dr. Maya Angelou, poet, activist, humanitarian.
And it's on recycled glass, I want
All
you to
right
know.
now. Thank you for that. 2013.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
And we have our event will be on November 17th of this year, and we will show a video of you. And
I'm glad.
thank you.
Keep as much as you can of the video because it's good.
Yeah.
And it's what I mean to be true.
Yes,
I
I
try
feel
to
that.
speak the truth. I don't tell everything I know, but I try to make sure that whatever I say is what I believe to be true. I'm not in love with the position. I'm in love with the search for truth and standing up for it. But I'd like to be courageous enough so that if a child informs me that I was wrong, I'd like to be courageous enough to say to my friends and strangers, say everybody, you remember what I said last week? Well, I don't believe that anymore. And now I've been taught something new. Everything I've said to you, Mr. Goodman, is what I mean to be true. And I thank you. I thank your family. I thank your mother for raising some go-ahead men.
Thank
I
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Angelou.